Hello and welcome to Pat Bear's Anime Club. If this is your first time watching one of these videos, every other Monday I put out a new episode where I am exploring topics, ideas in the world of anime. Sometimes it's trying to answer a question or talk about a topic, a theme, delve into stuff like saying, hey, where should you start with Gundam? Or hey, what's up with that anime sound effect? Wow, that you see in some shows. What's going on with that? Like, kind of just answering those questions. And sometimes it's just like, hey, what shows am I watching? What am I into right now? And so this episode is one of those. We are fairly new into the spring 2021 season. There's a lot of anime out there. I'm watching a ton of it. But I did want to take a moment to answer the question that might be on your mind. Hey, what are four spring 2021 shows that I'm loving? You might be wondering that. Like, what's the best of the best, the cream of the crop, the things that I would recommend to people to check out? Now, as always, my tastes are my tastes. Now, while I do think two of the shows I'm going to be talking about here are incredibly awesome and so wonderful, um, they might not necessarily be for you, or they might not speak to you the same way they speak to me. Um, and a couple other ones, you might have to be okay with Isikai in order to get there. I think one of them you can get through if you don't like Isikai at all. There's still many things to take away from it. Um, but the other one, I think you gotta really think Isikai is okay, because I am gonna recommend two Isikai in this one. Which honestly, considering there's like 7 this season, that's pretty good. If I was only recommending two, um, I am enjoying some of the other ones, but not necessarily enough to recommend. And also, like, look, I can't tell before we even get into this. I can't tell you if season 2 of Welcome to Demon School Irmakun is good because there's only been 2 episodes and they're still kind of sure. I think it's going to take a little while to kind of get its footing. Um, but the first season was great, and then probably didn't need 23 episodes. Kind of, got a little paced slowly towards the end, but started off incredibly strong. So if you're looking for a comedy show, if you're looking for a little more funny anime that isn't a romantic comedy, because that seems to be where a lot of comedy these days is going, check that out. Anyway, into the 4 shows that are this season that I want to talk about. As I said, we are going to start off with an isekai. I've been killing slimes for 300 years and maxed out my level. And if you're like, Pat, is this a light novel manga turned it and then a manga and then an anime? And the answer is, of course, yes. But it's a cute show, very fun. Azusa, who we see, she is second in from the left there with the white blouse. Um, she's an immortal witch now. She was an office worker, and she had her regular day, 9 to 5. Didn't work 9 to 5 though. She worked too much. She overworked herself to get ahead, but she wasn't getting ahead, and then she died. And then she was offered the chance to go to a fantasy world, and this she got the age 17, what she looked like when she was then, just about. She is now an immortal witch, and 300 years after she has been isekai'd, she is the strongest human in the world because she has been killing slimes every day, and you're like, oh, okay, so this is an overpowered MC action adventure series. I mean, there is some action, there is a little adventure. This is a slice of life about a girl that doesn't want to work too hard, and the wonderful women that surround her. At time of recording, we are just getting into more of the characters. It's only been a few episodes, but basically it's like, hey, it's her, and then a dragon, a red dragon shows up, who also has a humanoid form, as you can see in the photo, and she's there, and now she's going to be the apprentice, and also probably fall in love with her because it's going to happen. And then second episode is like, boom, okay, well, 2 young ladies show up. Oh, this is not a harem show, but it is a collection of ladies, because 2 young ladies show up and they say, hey, guess what? You've been killing slimes for all this time. The pain and manifestation of those slimes created us. We think the first ever slime spirits. Also, you're our mom. And she's like, yes, I am your mom. Come hang out. You're cute and great. Let's hang out. And then you have a boozy elf shows up and is just like getting into boozy hijinks. There's Beelzebub in the background. I've read some of this manga, so I know there's more characters coming in. We got Beelzebub, who is the like hardworking and very competent demon. Is there a demon king? Yes. Is that demon king a cute-looking girl? Yes. Is there? Oh, my favorite character. We haven't seen her yet. My favorite character from the manga is a teen ghost girl who decides that Asuna is her big sis. And she's just like, not bratty, but she's like mouthy. And also like, she's just like, I don't know. Everything was going real bad. I had a rough one. And now I'm just haunting this place. Oh, yeah, I can come here. I'll come live with you. Cool. Um, is there another Dragon Girl that shows up later? Yes. I don't even know if we're going to get the second Dragon Girl in season 1. I don't know how far they're going to, how fast they're going to go with the material. It's light, it's breezy. I hope I'm selling this, but it is like there's a strong like do what you can, don't overexert yourself, work ethic involved. It's just like nice scenes of wonderful young ladies who are also very old in some instances, just having a good time. Sometimes it is subtext, sometimes it is text, but this is definitely a queer-friendly show, and it's just fun. I really like it. Um, if you're looking for an isekai, if you're looking for an isekai, and let's say you liked one of the other slime shows, if you like the slime tamer, by the grace of the gods, um, and you're looking for something kind of in that vein, it's just like, yeah, it's an isekai, but it's not like, you know none of these characters are going to commit genocide. We'll throw it out there. Moving on to another isekai. I told you I'd talk about two. The Saint's power is omnipotent. I'm not good at saying that word, so we're just going to go with the Saint's power. There's Sai. Um, this photo does not do this show justice in that I couldn't get a good group shot for this, like a high quality photo that had Sai and also all of the men in this show. But please believe me when I tell you, this is an isekai, but it is a romance isekai. This is a throwback. This is not a modern isekai. This is a traditional isekai. Young lady, strong-willed, focused character thing. But this is a story that's like, yeah, it's an isekai, and like that. But that's just so that Sai can be empowered, and then also the men around her can fall in love with her. Because, yeah, so she's summoned as the saint, but another girl is summoned, and the call is made that she's not actually the saint, but she's stuck here. She has powers, and she's using those powers to help people through potions and cosmetics and enchanting things. And it's being pretty clear that she is very high powered and also just like a good person. And some of the men that are surrounding her are like appreciate her skills, but also her kind heart. Is there a character that is called the Ice Prince? Not just because he used ice magic, but his heart has been melted by the woman that helped save his life. Of course. Are all of these men handsome? Undeniably. Will there be a love triangle? Assuredly. Is Sai the kind of type that like had no clue that these men have affection for her? 100%. So yeah, this is just it's a romance anime that happens to be in the frame of an isekai. There's not heavy. They talk about magics and doing magic and all of that, and that's an element to it, but it's not like the science of it. Like there hasn't been like a long description of how to make the science work or the science of magic and all of that. It's just like, yeah, and you can imbue this with this. Oh, you're really good at it. Weird. Okay, moving on. Um, will the drama heat up? Will we find, there's this, she was summoned because there's a threat to the world. And we're going to find out more about, like, what happened and why she wasn't chosen and what the, ulterior motives and all of that, I'm sure, as things go on. Will there be betrayals? Assuredly. But hopefully, there's a happy ending. Because, yeah, this is a show that I'm really digging. I really like. Yeah, I highly recommend it. Obviously, it's in this video. All right, moving on. The heavy hitters. The shows that I would say, we got two heavy hitters coming up. One that I would say you need to give 2, maybe 3 episodes for. Uh, and one that just comes with, like, watch the first episode, you'll either know you like it or you know it's not for you. I just had a little edit there. And now I'm going to tell you about those Snow White Notes. The Snow White Notes is, again, a show that I think you're going to need a couple episodes maybe to get into. We've had a few so far because the first episode and the second episode seem to be a little different. I mean, you're going to get the major thing about this is Setsu. Setsu is a young man there. He is at the bottom center there of the photograph. He is a shamisen player who has lost his sound. His grandfather was an incredible shamisen player, and he grew up in the shadow of him wanting to be to capture his sound to play his song. And his grandfather recently passed, and he's lost because of that. So the first episode's like him like leaving his home, going to Tokyo, bumming around, meeting some cool people, and that could have been the show. Him like rediscovering his sound while helping other broken people and being helped by them. But that's not what the show is, and it's weird. It's almost like that was the manga treatment to get interest in it. And then it was like, yeah, but actually the show is a high school setting, and it's him like joining a shamisen appreciation society to help other people appreciate the sound while he rediscovers his love of it, which is a different story than the one presented in the first episode, because that comes in episode 2, and I was like, oh, this is a school show, because I had seen some other characters, and I was like, well, maybe he like gets involved with something. I didn't realize he was going to go to high school. So just be aware, the first episode paints the idea of a show we could see that we're not seeing. That one was a little bit more like, oh, shoot. The show where 2 girls both have the same name and they both move to Tokyo to follow their dreams. There's somebody in the comments who is immediately telling me the name of it. But that feels a little bit more what that first episode is kind of going for. Whereas the rest of the show so far anyway has been this plot of this guy now like learning and teaching. You'll know in the first episode if you want to stick around because of the shamisen. The music is gorgeous. Both the memories of his grandfather playing, and then Setsu also playing as well. Just incredible performances from people. There's like a larger plot that's happening. There's some big character motivations. There's some small character motivations. There's some wants and needs. Everything from a girl that is chasing a sound that her grandmother remembers hearing as a child, so their grandmother can hear this sound again. Characters that are just trying to help out each other, trying to find their own way, and the music is just breathtaking. The rotoscoping, like, I'm not one for like being able to notice good rotoscoping, but like the way the fingers are moving from Setsu and some of the other people playing, that's definitely rotoscope. There's no way that is just somebody who's like, yeah, I know what a shamisen looks like. I can animate that. But the music is gorgeous. The story is fantastic. There's big, broad characters that I'm like, okay, yeah, all right. And it comes with my highest recommendation. This and the next show I'm going to talk about are the shows that I really think you should try. Look, there's a lot of great stuff this season. There's stuff I haven't even dug into yet. But those Snow White Notes is just watching people react to beautiful music and music with an emotion and feeling that emotion. Also, at the time of this recording, just been introduced to the gentleman with the bluish silver hair there in the background, and I don't know what his deal is, but he is expressive in a way that made me go, is this going to be a problem? So I will give that. I don't know more about it. I can read up, I guess, if I wanted to, but I don't know what's going on with that character. I am slightly worried. What was that character's name? I'm looking it up right now. I got my notes here. What was this character? Did not. Rai. Rai is a shamisen player as well. That departs some life advice that makes me a little bit curious as to what's up with this character. What's going on with Sai? But yeah, I got a little bit of the like, is this going to be a stereotype? I'm not sure. But anyway, those Snow White notes with that caveat, I guess. The music is beautiful. I think the story is really interesting. And yeah, check it out. And now I'm going to tell you about the my last show that I would like to recommend. I'm not going to edit that. We're just going to go with it. The show that comes with my highest possible recommendation, the show that one episode through, you will either be enthralled or you will know this looks good, but not for me, which is okay. But this is the show that I won't shut up about this season. So here we go. Super Cub. I am not going to be shutting up about Super Cub, but sorry, not sorry. Hey, it's Super Cub. I'm going to talk about Super Cub right now. Please watch at least one episode of Super Cub. Okay, what is it? You're like, Pat, you just said Super Cub so many times. What's up? So, the girl that is sitting eating curry there on the right, her name is Kaguma. Kaguma is a girl that the very opening credits of the first episode, she says, I have no parents, I have no friends, I have no money. She's definitely living on assisted living. She's living alone, going to school. She bikes to school. There's an incline. She hates it. She ends up buying a Super Cub. Super Cub is a Honda. It is it looks like a Vespa, but it is classified, or a scooter. It is classified as a motorcycle. It is a low-powered motorcycle. These are very popular in many countries in the world, in Japan as well, because they were easy to repair, they were easy to tinker with, they were low cost, and they get you places, right? You know, in the same, get you from point A to point B. In Japan, you need a motorcycle license. In other parts of the country, you did not need a license. They were souped-up mopeds or low-powered motorcycles. She ends up buying a used one that someone had died on. But she's okay with that, which is dark. The background music is all piano. There are moments where there's no sound, no music. It comes in sparingly. The motorcycles in the show, the bikes you'll see, are all CGI, but it works. I'm not against it. And it's just a lovely little show about a girl that doesn't feel like she has anything, having something. It brings me to tears to even think about it. Look, if a show where the big motivation, the big movement in it is that a character smiles, and it's just a big grin, and it makes you smile, if that doesn't hit you, then this isn't the show for you. This is not like Initial D, where it's people who don't necessarily watch anime, but this is a thing that they're excited about. Like, well, I like drifting and racing, so this is an anime for me. If you're a motorcycle enthusiast, I don't know if this is the show for you. There's another girl there, Reiko, who is riding a Postal Cub that she's modified. That was a big deal, or a big thing, was the motorbike and another Cub for postal workers at the time. And I don't even know the girl in the middle. I don't know her yet. A couple episodes in, we have not been introduced to that character. Can't tell you anything about her. It looks like she's got a regular bicycle. I don't know why she's hanging out, but this show is really about Koguma coming out of her shell and finding reasons to love things, and like the idea that she can like go get groceries after school or go to the hardware store. She's got the manual. She's learning about gas, and she's learning about little moments about the thing. There's a moment where she gets Reiko's cell phone number in case there's emergencies, and she's like, I don't even know if we're friends, but she gets the sense in the third episode that there's a world of people that love cubs. A teacher gives her a front basket from an old cub of his that he's not using. They meet a dealer who gets salvages cubs and trades components or things to get her a carrier in the back, like a storage unit in the back, so she installs it on the bike herself. there's multiple shots of her opening the window to go just kind of stare at her cub and look at it from inside her apartment. And we're seeing just like a real quiet, sad young lady just like find things, like find more about herself. Um, I just, I don't know, I get choked up about it. This is a very special show. Is it in some way an advertisement for Cubs? Sure, I guess it is. I'm not trying to tell you that all anime is high art, and even this is high art. This is something to sell manga and maybe sell motorcycles, right? But it's a beautiful little show that I highly recommend. It's on Funimation. I should say Saints Powers on Funimation, and Killing Slimes and those Snow White Notes are on Crunchyroll. Um, and yeah, I think the shows are just quite good and quite lovely. This one comes with my highest recommendation. As I said, the first episode, either it's going to be like, oh, this is not for me, or maybe this isn't the time for you. Maybe you're just like not in the right headspace for something like this. But it's just a lovely little series about independence. And it comes, again, with my highest recommendation. As I said, I don't even know what the third character, the middle character in this, I don't even know who she is. I could look it up. We haven't met her in the anime at the point that I have seen episodes. But I can tell you that this is just an incredibly high-quality show that I highly recommend. So check out Super Cub. Check out all these, and let me know if you haven't seen these and you're watching them now. Let me know what you think in the comments below, or let me know what you're watching this season. Now, these are just 4 shows that I'm liking right now, but I can tell you I'm watching a lot more. Slime Diaries. If you didn't like season 2 of That Time I Got Reincarnated as Slime, but you really liked season 1, well, Slime Diaries might be more your alley because it's a slice of life, chibi-ish show from the same mangaka, and it's just a slice of life. It's a cute little tiny scenes, very fun. I'm watching that and really and liking that. Dragon Goes House Hunting. I love the premise. I think the art is beautiful. I'm a little iffy. It's one of those shows that I might just stop watching and then watch it when it all comes out, marathon at the end. I don't know. Let's Make a Mug 2 is definitely an advertisement, but it's also cute, and I like the characters. It's a cute little show. Let's see. Is there any other shows that I'm like, these are the things that I'm like, oh, well, if you're not watching these, I don't know what you're doing. Yeah, Welcome to Demon School, I mentioned before. So I'm a Spider, So What is continuing its season. It's an interesting show. I don't know if it's my favorite show. Also, I didn't say this. The same voice actor who does the Spider in So I'm a Spider, So What is doing Azusa, the main character, and I'm Killing Slimes for 300 Years. And that's just odd to hear because I hear those, that one comes out Friday, one comes out Saturday. So that's just been weird. But yeah, I mean, I'm not watching To Your Eternity. That seems like people are really digging it. I kind of gave up on SSSS Dynazeon, but I'll probably watch it when it's all out. I can't, off the top of my head, I'm sure there are other shows that people are like, no, this is the show, my favorite show this season. If you're not watching this, what are you doing? Like, I'm sure there's a bunch more. Tokyo Revengers, kind of, I love the premise, but kind of wasn't thrilled about the most recent episode, so I'm like, going to take a pause on that. Maybe I'll come back to it. I don't know. But yeah, let me know what you're watching and what you're digging, or maybe you're watching some old stuff from last season. Maybe you're watching something I recommended from the year 2020, the far-off year of 2020, and what I enjoyed that year. Maybe you're catching up on that. But let me know what you're checking out. Would love to hear from you about that. And as always, if you have ideas for future videos I should do, I do look at them. I don't always take your advice or your suggestions, but I do write them down. This was just a thing. This felt like a good video to make if people are looking for a new show. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next Pat Bear's Anime Club. Goodbye.